Morning. Morning, Roxanne. Thank you for my brooms. Morning, Shadley. Althea Allen. Morning. Good morning, Rookman. Kathy Belfont. Morning to you. Alberta Sampath. Morning, The Patriot. Morning to you. Morning. Let me see what I have on Facebook. Okay, how we pronounce that? Marjet Thomas Marche. Morning, Carol. Morning, Diane. Alicia Almondi Roche. Morning. You're usually early, Carol. Cyril Meyas, morning. Jeremy Lewis, good morning to you. Jennifer Ferron, morning. Ruben Rogers, Kathy Ann Best, morning. Ria Ed, morning. Lisa Atwater, morning to you. Morning, Shah. Annette Neptune, morning. Yes. So I know I said I may not have done the live this morning because, but I was able to clear up a lot of things yesterday. So I have a little bit of time on my hands today. Still have a lot of stuff to do before I jump out, but yeah. So let's see what I can do in the little time that I have this morning. Morning, Joy. Rena Jennings. Morning, Rena. Cynthia Jackson, Candice Joseph, Garnet Greenwich. Morning to all of you guys. Just turn off this thing here. So get this here. Morning, Phyllis. John Edwards. Morning, Rosemary Hadley. Phyllis is asking, do I usually replay lives? Yes, Phyllis. Well, it's available on YouTube. Just have to pull up Facts Are Stubborn Things, and also on the Debunking UNC Lies with Facts page. Well, the same page that you're on now. Yeah, you could just go back, and it's usually well, at least on Facebook, it's there for 30 days, and well, all of the videos from start would be available on YouTube on the Facts Are Stubborn Things page. So yeah, from March come forward, you'll get all there. But I think on Facebook, they just keep it for 30 days. Morning, Sarah. Morning, Allison Samuel. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to the folks out in the US. I think Rosemary is in the US. Yeah, so to all the folks on here who are in the US, happy Turkey Day. I'm a little late this year. But Thanksgiving Day in any event when all over closed up, not really anything to do. So today would have been a rest day had I gone up on since Sunday as I was supposed to do. Yeah, today would have been a rest day. So I see all my people who are out there already who went up on Sunday shopping up a storm. Yeah, only 11 o'clock in the night. They're still in the mall. So morning, Marva. Right, who else we have here? Linda Supreme. Good morning. Mikkel, good morning. Morning, Ruth. But I guess maybe it's a good thing I didn't know. go up on Sunday because, yeah, I would have overdone it by now. Some of these folks, like, they have no restraint. And you go to the malls with all of these sales, you need to leave your credit cards home, just walk with one. Denise is saying hurry up and return. I won't be out for that long this time, Denise. Morning, Claire. Margaret says she wants to hear about Kingsley. Good morning to His Excellency, President of Pleasantville, Nigel Okada, and First Lady Marcia Keegan. Yes, so you're late this morning. Normally that would warrant detention, but we'll excuse it. It's your first time. You're not a serial delinquent, so we'll forgive you. Let's see here. Right. So let me get this here. Couple things to touch on this morning. From the sublime to the ridiculous, but anyway. So, all right. What to start with? Let's go with this one.
Rush. Thank you. Tonight, video you will only see here on WPBF 25 News of the ending of a wild police chase on the Treasure Coast. A police canine found the suspect hiding in thick brush.
Tonight, the K9's handlers talking only with reporter Ari Height about the chase and the arrest they made. Ari is in Port St. Lucie with the exclusive story.
Investigators tell me this chase started in Indian River County, reached speeds of about 120 miles per hour, and eventually there was a crash here along I-95 in Port St. Lucie, but the suspect didn't give up. Instead, he took off through these trees and into this pasture where he probably thought this would be an easy place to hide. But police still caught him thanks to their four-legged officer. This is how the chase finally ended, with a Port St. Lucie police canine tracking down the suspect in a pasture near I-95. That canine is Landy. He's been Officer Mitch Miller's partner for about 2 years now. They pulled up to the scene just after the suspect crashed, and they joined the chase into the pasture.
There's thick in some areas, and in some areas it's knee high, so it's not like you could do a full-out sprint.
Miller and Landy wound up leading that pursuit for about 30 minutes, and with help from a Martin County Sheriff's Office helicopter, they were eventually able to track down their man.
At one point, he bedded down behind a tree, and then they Martin County kept eyes on him and walked us right in.
And Miller believes any thoughts that suspect may have had of taking off again ended when he saw who was making the arrest.
A lot of people are more willing to comply when there's a dog looking at them, pretty much at eye level, because the guy was sitting down
And eventually in handcuffs. The suspect was identified as Varun Maharaj. He's from Trinidad. He was wanted in connection with armed carjacking charges and with federal charges of smuggling. He's also now charged with fleeing and eluding. In Port St. Lucie, Ari Height, WPBF 25 News.
Yeah, former cyclist, national cyclist, Varun Maharaj. A slew of charges, which would have precipitated his decision to try and engage in a high-speed chase with the police in Florida. Yes. So you heard mentioned there a couple of the things: armed robbery, carjacking, trafficking, among other things. And now he has additional charges. But from what I would have read, he was a very promising cyclist at 31. He's just 31 years old. I think he had 3 records to his name and so on. But you wouldn't see the supporters of that other party. They're not going to highlight this, right? Because I'm sure when the article comes out, and as it probably has come out on Facebook already, had it been somebody else, you would have heard that's a product of the PNM. I don't know, Varun living on, but they usually they expect this kind of thing from certain persons, right? So I wonder if Varun living in Coconut Drive and Mova, probably from Never Dirty, yeah? Maybe from 2nd Street in Beetham Estate or First Caledonia, yeah? You think they were big up? No, they don't talk about that. Don't talk about that at all. Gone to Florida. And once again, Trinidad and Tobago is in the news. Yeah. Thanks to who? All right. Just thought I would mention that. Yeah, but as I said, the usual suspects on the other side of the fence, on the yellow side of the fence, they ain't going to talk much about this. They're not going to promote that because it goes against the grain of the narrative that they usually like to push. That whenever you hear things like this happen, it's only PNM children, PNM grandchildren, and PNM great-grandchildren who do these kind of things. Yeah? Because remember, PNM children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, all we know is crime. All we know to do is commit crime and embarrass the country. But this is not an embarrassment. Oh, no. It was Jesse and Philip. Oh, God. Well, been a different story. Sarah is saying he's from Arima side. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. She says she remembers cheering him on at cycling. Yes. From one extreme to the next. How the mighty had fallen. What could have resulted in this? I wonder maybe he come from... Nah, Gabi. There's only PNM children and grandchildren has come from broken homes, single parent homes, and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's not enough for them to commit crime in Trinidad, or they had to go to the US and commit crime too. But you would not hear much talk about that. Yeah. On the yellow side, they don't commit crimes. No. They don't commit, it's only the PNM side, only the red side. Yeah, so I found that to be noteworthy. Yeah. Good grief. So this situation with so I see the stuntman, I had to call him the stuntman, Iowa, decided to do a new version of the song. And it's just to be released on Friday, tomorrow. So he made a decision yesterday to do a new version of the song, and it's going to be released tomorrow. So it just takes them a day or two to do a whole new song and record it and all of that, right? Yeah. As if. So he put out something on Instagram yesterday stating that, he wasn't aware of the controversy only on Saturday when somebody drew it to his attention, and then he said he was shocked and he decided to listen to the Prime Minister's press conference to see if any of the reporters would ask the Prime Minister a question with respect to the song. So he sat down and watched a 2-hour press conference to see if any mention would be made of him. Sounds familiar? To another man who does do that. Another man who did that, in fact. Goes by Gary the Great. Yeah, so he too sat down to see. Let me see if my name going on mentioned. And when it is the Prime Minister expressed his opinion and his view of the song, for him, that was the wake-up call. And he decided, yes, I need to. So you're listening all the time. You're seeing the controversy on social media. You're seeing the commentary, general population, thousands of people condemning the song, express their disappointment. That didn't motivate you to get rid of the song or to remove the anthem from the song. You needed the Prime Minister to articulate his position, and then you said, yeah, boy, I was like in some trouble there. And you decided to call on persons to delete the first version of the song and await the second version, which is to come out tomorrow. So people are going to say, well, yes, I was making sense. Let me see. Where did I see the song again? On Facebook. All right, let me scroll through and see if I find it. Delete. Yeah. Let me see. It was in somebody sent it to me in WhatsApp. Let me go and find that WhatsApp message. It was shared 5-6 times. So let me go through each WhatsApp message and delete it. Yeah, because really, Iowa? Seriously? And it's on YouTube and probably everywhere else, so much thousands of times the song was shared because of all the controversy surrounding it. People wanted to hear what was all the bacchanal about, was the issue and so on. We saw some videos come out with persons talking about when one woman said her daughter told her that when the anthem was played at school, one of the infants well. So I rewrote the anthem, and so it's now we need to add well. There's about 19 or 20 something wells in this song. Yeah. So we want to take you 2 days just to do a new version of the song and then come out tomorrow. Okay. Well. So, of course, we know now everybody. I say, yeah, to call the man the stunt man because this was a publicity stunt. I am not fooled by it because, of course, now. So the original song would have gotten how many views, and as I said, when you get views on YouTube, you could get paid, and I know Iowa is certified, I think is what they call it, by YouTube to get paid based on the amount of views that his videos get on store. I know 91.9, that radio station, they're very big on views, right? So that's why they were talking about Share the Live and come on the live. Yes, if you want to see this, come on the live and come on the live. That's why they do that. So the more views they get, and they're able to get paid. So it's an income generating, strategy for them. Yeah. So, like I don't fault the man. At the end of the day, if that's how you're making your money, no problem, make your money. But I see it for what it is a stunt, because the original song would have gotten how much? Thousands, tens of thousands of views. And then people will now a lot of people will be interested to know, well, let me hear what the new version sounds like. So people will be seeking it out. People will be sharing it. Look at the new version of Iowa song. Let me hear what he put in that 46 seconds to replace the national anthem. So, of course, the second version, too, is going to get a lot of attention. Yeah? More views. Hopefully this time, they will do over the video and they will spell "to" correct. Please. We pledge our lives to the "to" is spelled T-O and not T-O-O. Okay, videographer, or whoever put that video together, I mean, come now, man. It's bad enough that you only have the infant singing well to the anthem. Don't mess up their mentals with the spelling too now, for those who would look at the video. So please make a correction. Anybody who knows Iowa, in case he didn't notice it, and in case the videographer or whoever put together the video did not notice it, you're spelling "to" wrong. Yeah, these little things that will annoy some of us. So, yeah. So kudos to him. Once again, Trinidad and Tobago get caught up in the hype and the tomfoolery and the stuntery. All right? Yeah. You ain't fooling me. I wouldn't be here to listen to it tomorrow anyway. So, yes. And it is off the drop of the grandchildren. No problem. Yes, Rita, that is why they're quiet. Yeah, as you say, it was Cyril grandchild. Oh, we will not hear the end of that. Alison is saying, and he kept playing it in every advertisement. Trevor Google is on vacation, I think. Yeah, he normally would have gone on vacation in October. I don't know what happened, but I think the last show that he did, he indicated that he was going on vacation. So Alison is saying he played it in every advertisement. I'm not surprised, and this is one of the reasons why I'm glad I'm no longer there, because you would have had to toe the line, and it because of this having to toe the line is the reason why Aisha is no longer there, because when this issue came up with the boats, the 3 water taxis that he wanted to acquire, and when it was that he was unsuccessful, for those of us who would have listened, well, not us, those of you who would have listened on the day after, every presenter would have spoken about the boat issue and tried to create this narrative about it's because he's a black man and the PNM don't like black men and black business. And if it was an East Indian or if it was a member of the 1%, they would have get through. But because it's Iowa has benefited quite a bit from the PNM, quite a bit, which is why some people are very surprised by some of the decisions that he has taken. But to go from a program that used to run on, you have a presenter who could have drawn 600 to 700 viewers on Facebook and similar numbers on YouTube on an afternoon, to Mutt and Jeff, 2 clowns who could barely hold 80 viewers at any one given time, and question some of these viewers, question some of these listeners, some of these callers who call in to endorse the nonsense that these guys speak. They come every evening to educate and inform. And the fact that they don't know that they're miseducated, uneducated, and uninformed is mind-blowing. Simply mind-blowing. And people, yeah, boy, every day is the best show you do, best show you ever do. Well, you keep up the good work, keep on doing what you're doing. Speaks to the level of illiteracy that exists in Trinidad and Tobago. You want to know? Listen to that program. Listen to the quality of the contributions from the majority of the callers, and you would know. So 2025 is the electorate versus the illiterate. Yeah. And programs like that, Lord Father. Where is the counter to it? Not that Google is on vacation. Poor Sharon, she had a fight up. I don't even know who are the other who holding on for Google. Because I said I do not listen to that station. Honestly, forgive me, Sharon and Bruce, but I don't. I mean, most of the time when they on, I still in my bed. Yeah, so I'll forgive me, but I good. I bounced up a guy yesterday. I'm going to stop listening to that station. What rubbish! What utter rubbish! Why we're doing? But yes, and just saying Mr. Manning was heavily criticized for granting Iowa his radio license. Yeah. Probably tuning in his way now to see what that station has become. But anyway, less people think that. Yeah. But to each his own. I give him his kudos for being an enterprising black man, Afro descent. But I think you're going down the wrong road. Yeah, you've done well thus far. You had the right formula before, and I don't know what happened. But let me not try to put a fly in your ointment and a spoke in your wheel. You do what it is that you have to do. If you think that what you currently have in place is the formula for success, well then, all the best to you, sir. Right, enough of that. Let me see if I get this here. So, just to touch briefly on this issue of Kingsley. So, we saw, I think by now everybody would have seen the video, the altercation involving Kingsley, King Silly, whatever it is you want to call him, where it seems he was rejected by his queen, yes, Her Majesty, Queen of the UNC, and the woman they fancy to be the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So, let me get this here.
Should have ignorant of me.
You must be girl.
Yeah, I tell her all of that.
How do we that? MP, is that? Come on, to me, eh? Embarrass me, eh? Embarrass me, eh? She embarrassed me, eh? Embarrass me, eh? I felt that man. My name was worried up. Still, because I got and the way you go me, 10 things happening. Me, one boy, that nigga. I'm this one. Respectful one.
Right. Gang, put it now, like.
How you do me, man? Tell me, why I have gone upstairs there? Why I have gone upstairs there? I can feel my speech, I can talk, boy. I can feel my speech, I can talk. I can talk. I can talk. You got to be on top, I can talk. I can talk. But how she not push me while she respect for one going on my badge? And if you insult me, you touch me, I want to kiss you, and you push me.
Right. So it seems that there's this woman who, well, she's a police officer who's part of Mrs. Prasad Bissessa's security detail. So it seems there was some altercation, and she may have pushed Kingsley, and his beloved leader, I guess, didn't stand in for him. And I'm sure all that old noise he was making there on the step, I'm sure Mrs. Prasad Bissessa would have heard it, because she would have just come in, and I don't know if perhaps Kingsley wanted to greet her, and he get pushed, hey, move out of the way, but who's you? Yeah? Also, you're a pleb. You didn't know that? Well, I have given you the memo. I walk with the memo today. Read that. You're a pleb. Behave yourself. I fed up. I've always seen you around like what is called and fly or whatever, isn't it? Go so, move so. He didn't like that. And he probably expected his leader, whose handbag he has had the privilege of carrying on a couple of occasions, would have probably stepped in and said, no, don't do that, don't do that. Should have time with you. Why move so ahead? I'm sure she heard all of the commotion and probably asked, what is going on there? Oh, Kingsley, all right. Okay. Yeah. So my boy Vex. And look at that. So the officer is doing her job, whatever it is would have precipitated that, altercation. I mean, she pushed him away, however it is. But here what you call her? She too is of African descent. Here what you call her? Twice. You is a what? N-word? Twice. Yeah. I wonder if it is she was of a different race, if you would have called her something else. Probably not. Yeah, but he had no problem in calling her out as a N-word twice. You see? Proud to do that because she's doing her job. You vex. Yeah, but it just goes to show know your place and know your worth. So the claim here is that, let me see if I find it here. They're saying that Ratman, we all know who Ratman is, was roughed up by Anderson after the UNC meeting. They have learned that Anderson approached him and asked for the money he owes him for the work on the pundit in Cuba last year. Ratman said he was not paying, whereupon he was collared and pushed around. The trafficker from Cuba North had to be rescued by his people. Ravi did a U-turn on his way to the Monday Night Forum when he learned that Anderson was asking for him. Now, you all remember that when they had the Congress a few months ago in the car park somewhere in Cuba, there were two persons who were accused of, manhandling the pundit. It was Kingsley and I believe it was Anderson. So the claim here now is that Ratman had promised them some money to engage in that activity and he didn't pay. Well, it's a surprise. This man is a crook from a long time. But now you have, so where is this thing? I saw somebody put out something where they give you a ball by ball of exactly what it is happening. I'm not seeing it here. So let's see if I see it here. Right. So what played out? Here, Ratman asked Kingsley to remove the pundit from the UNC council meeting and he promised to pay him $1,000 for the thug work. Ratman avoided Kingsley for months and never took his calls. Kingsley confronted Ratman in Sangre Grande during the local government campaign and a heated argument ensued. Ratman slipped away. Kingsley approached Ratman at the Cuba South MP office after the Monday Night Forum and Ratman asked Yusukuyan to remove him from upstairs because he's a nobody. So apparently he was upstairs and probably making a little janjat upstairs. Right. Sushila asked her guard to remove him and he was escorted downstairs in a hostile manner. So it seems his queen, his Maharani, his mentor, his idol, seems she told the security detail, get rid of him. He's a nuisance. He serves no useful purpose anymore. Because clearly he was unable to get us any significant votes in PNM strongholds in, probably as he promised, in Laventille East, Laventille West, Mova, and so on. In the local government election, we didn't do very well. So, other than being a foot kisser and other, worshiping other parts of her anatomy, he serves no useful purpose to her. So it says here, Kingsley behaved like a wajang. The police were called and they threatened to arrest him. Kyle Taklal Singh tried to pacify the situation as well as to save Kingsley from being arrested. Ratman was upset because Kingsley was not arrested. Ratman waved a blank brown envelope to Kingsley, and said that the money is inside, but he would never get it. And Kingsley was also called a potom while Ravi's staff jailed on. So all of this over $1,000. The boy way money. So Kyle Tackler, claims were made to put Kingsley up to this. Kyle Tackler is a attorney So yeah, and he is saying that a certain UNC MP is trying to muddy his waters by claiming that he put Kingsley up to the whole thing and whatnot and stuff. And anyway, put out a whole press release indicating he had nothing to do with it and calling out the MP. He didn't mention which MP it is, but all is not well in the House of the Rising Sun, as we know. So just bacchanal after bacchanal. If they can't manage their own party, if they can't handle the internal affairs over such simple things, how do they expect to run the country? How do they expect to run the country when you have all these little choppedness taking place? I mean, all this little bacchanal, everybody just who want to dirty who waters and who want to make who look bad and all, and they telling you they are the government in waiting. That is the alternative to the PNM. Eric Williams said it. The alternative to the PNM is chaos and confusion, and that is a party of chaos and confusion. All kind of little children games they play and all kind of foolishness, and then want us to hand them the reins of power to run the country. Look, miss me with that. Miss me with that. So I don't know what poor Kingsley doing now. Just now, well, let me see something. I saw somebody tagging me. Let me see if he put anything on his. Probably wouldn't. You know, but with how it is work with Kingsley, all will be forgiven. Maybe all it takes is for somebody to call him and say, well, you know, Kamala say, she's sorry. Right. Okay. Yes, he says, Kingsley. He put up a post on his Facebook page yesterday. Yesterday was yesterday, and today is today. Well, as you know, Mr. Warner is his mentor too. So what happened yesterday? That's yesterday. Today is today. All is forgiven. I still love Kamala. I still going and promote her. And yeah, you know, let bygones be bygones. Okay. Right, Kingsley. I see you. Right. Let me move on to thing 3. Where is it? Well, I had missed the story, but condolences to the Minister of Finance on the loss of his mother, Maura Imbert. I understand her funeral was 2 days ago. And she would have passed away after having suffered a stroke some 4 months ago. I wasn't even aware that his mother, yes, because I think his mother was at the award. She received an award or something like that. Yeah, the national awards, I think I recall seeing her sometime. Yeah, but she has passed on. Condolences to the Imbert family. But I just wanted to touch quickly on something I saw in the article. It says here, Clement Imbert, as you may know, I think he's the chair of UTT, and who is Mr. Imbert's uncle. And he was speaking to the media and the news there and so on, perhaps at the funeral. And there was just one line in the article that I wanted to touch on. Clement thanked the medical teams at Mount Hope and Arima hospitals for taking care of her in her last moments. Right? This was his sister-in-law. You hear where she was? Mount Hope Hospital and Arima Hospital. Not St. Clair, not West Shore, not St. Augustine Private, not Medical Associates, because you know the support on that side. And those who like to listen to their narratives, like to say, oh, the minister and them thing when they always them could go and them just go them big shot hospital and them private hospital and stuff, and the rest of we had to go and fight up in Mount Hope and thing and the healthcare system so bad. Well, Mr. Imbert, the Minister of Finance, who has a lot of money, he's a very wealthy individual from private enterprise, as we know. He didn't put his mother in St. Clair and he didn't put her in West Shore. Where was she? She went to Mount Hope Hospital and she was in the Arima Hospital. Public healthcare system, the same public healthcare system that all you always cussing and saying that the minister and them don't care and the prime minister don't care because they're using that. Well, Mr. Imbert clearly had more than sufficient confidence in the public healthcare system to entrust his mother's care. Now, it has some of those ruthless, heartless people say, well, he wanted she to dead, so that's why he sent her there. I mean, come on, she was 94 years old. 94 years old. So she would never had her tenure above ground would have been, short-lived anyway. So, but we know we have those usual suspects. But I just thought I would make mention of that, right? Where she was. The public health sector. Public, not private. And He could more than afford it. I'm sure she was a scientist and professor and so on. So I'm sure she had her own money that could have paid for that too. Okay? So, yeah. Right. Let us move on to the ridiculous. The Opposition United National Congress is of the view that the government should reconsider the Dragon gas deal with Venezuela. Venezuela and Guyana are involved in a territorial dispute over the Essequibo region. In Guyana, both the opposition and the government rejected Venezuela's planned referendum on whether or not to annex the disputed territory. The referendum is set for December 3rd, 2023. Monday evening, opposition MP David Lee read a Reuters report on the Dragon gas deal between Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago. He said Guyana is part of CARICOM, and given the circumstances, government should reconsider. He stated CARICOM nations, including this country and the US, have called on Venezuela to respect international law. Mr. Lee questions the message being sent by the state. He had some questions for Prime Minister Dr. Rowley and his Energy Minister Stuart Young. On Monday, Dr. Rowley expressed the hope that this country's investments are not impacted by the conflict. The Prime Minister was at a news conference in Port of Spain. So David Lee and the UNC is telling the government, here what? We think that you see this long-standing dispute between Guyana and Venezuela that appears to be coming to a head on December the 3rd. CARICOM should stand united in their rebuff of Venezuela, but it is not enough for Trinidad and Tobago to simply be represented by a general statement by CARICOM. We want Trinidad and Tobago to take it a step further. We're not calling on any of the other CARICOM countries to do that. Trinidad and Tobago alone must take it a step further. You know why? Because we are supposed to be the godfather of the nation of the region. Yes, we are supposed to be the leaders. So here, what you see that Dragon gas deal that has been ongoing for many years, straddling some 3 administrations, and finally seems to be bearing fruit, and that we are at the brink of signing an agreement, a final agreement that would see the process of monetizing this gas begin. Well, they need to abandon that. As a show of solidarity for Guyana. Yes, abandon that and show Guyana and show CARICOM and show the world, look, Trinidad and Tobago, we standing against Venezuela. And we are willing to abandon this project that we have been working so hard on, that when the UNC were in power, when Kamala was Prime Minister, she and her minister were working on it, and they couldn't even make a dent. And here it is that the Keith Rowley administration has made such headway. And finally, we are almost at the finishing line. Yeah, almost. It's just a bust the tape now. And they're saying here, well, pull up lane. Pull up lane. Go and lie down on this side of the road. Say you get a stitch. Really? This is the UNC. This is the government in waiting. The government in waiting are every day complaining about the state of the economy, and the economy in a mess, and the economy on the brink, and the economy in tatters. And here it is that if that is the case, it is not. It is certainly not the case, because I see Extra Foods just opened the latest grocery in Arangwes. When I was coming home last night and I happened to glance across on that side of Arangwes, you all see how that side of Arangwes is developing? You all see how it's looking? And more development is taking place because I see the land next to this new Extra Foods grocery, which seems to probably be the biggest one they have. I don't know. It's huge. I see they're developing the land next to that. And a lot of development has been taking place in that general area over the last year or so, where a Starbucks opened there recently. So they built one right there. You have Amalgamated Security, massive compound there. You have Peak Technologies, which is one of I think probably their factory is there. But you have a lot of development taking place in and around that. And thanks to the People's National Movement for having the foresight to put that interchange there. Because for those of us who live on the East-West Corridor would recall the traffic nightmare that was the East-West Corridor at Churchill-Roosevelt Highway years gone by. With the traffic light by what is now the Grand Bazaar interchange, the traffic light by Curep, the traffic light by Arangwes. It used to take you 2.5, 3 hours if you don't leave home 4 o'clock in the morning and you head into Port of Spain. Bet your bottom dollar, once you leave home 5:30, tell yourself you're reaching into home until 8:30, 9 o'clock. I used to go through that every bloody day. Stress. Traffic that's going through up is bumper to bumper traffic from about Trin City until you reach Port of Spain. And it took the foresight of Patrick Manning and his administration to take the decision to tell all of the naysayers, haul all your tail. Yes, this is an expensive project, but we're going to do it. You know why? Because it is needed. And the people of the East-West Corridor are grateful to the Manning administration for taking that decision. Because when it was deemed a vanity project by the UNC, Mr. Manning plowed ahead. And it's unfortunate he didn't plow ahead with other things that they also criticized. Yeah? Especially that traffic light that used to be by Grand Bazaar there when you're coming up. Traffic from Port of Spain and heading east in the afternoon was terrible because that turn off where you had to take by Nestle there, when the traffic light and you had to swing to go south or to go to Shogunas, that line of traffic used to back up all the way down to Beta, causing problems. And you used to get a little respite once you cross that traffic light because going east. But all those traffic lights have been removed. The one at Arangwes, so you cross the Grand Bazaar and then you have another one at Arangwes, that was removed. The one at Grand Bazaar was removed. The one now, the Curap interchange, that light was removed. And the intention of this administration is to remove the one at Mokoya, the one at Yui, St. Augustine there. In fact, to remove all of the traffic on the Roosevelt Highway. There's the one at Piaco, has to go. And I see, well, strides are being made. The process is now underway to remove the one at O'Meara Road. So they've already started that project. So the expansion of O'Meara Road itself, the widening of O'Meara Road to facilitate, I think that light is going to be removed and replaced with a roundabout or so on. So we'll see how that goes, right? And those are two projects that the UNC wanted to lay claim to because when they came into office in 2010, the projects were underway and they wanted to say, well, we finish it. We finished it. So you all had everything was in place. Funding was in place. Contractor was on site. The project was ongoing. You all had nothing to do. Nothing. You made no contribution. Save and except that when it was finished, to go and cut the ribbon. So miss us with that BS, please. Miss us with that. PNM project. But all like I say, the PNM they do nothing. And it was they didn't start the Arima Hospital and the Point 14 Hospital. It would have never built. All you did was nothing else. Funding was not in place or anything. So again, miss us with that BS, right? So David Lee saying that, and by extension, because he's speaking for the UNC, sorry, he is the shadow MP or the shadow minister for energy, is saying that government of Trinidad and Tobago, as a show of solidarity, should stand with Ghana and tell Maduro here what now. You see what they're doing there, we're not supporting that. Dragon gas deal there. Dragon gas deal there. So we should do that. But I want to ask David Lee, right? We should stand with Ghana. We should, we should show solidarity for them. Okay, I hear what you're saying now. But I am of the considered view that beyond CARICOM's statement, joint statement, the government of Trinidad and Tobago should do absolutely nothing else and proceed with the Dragon gas deal. Because you know what? Today or tomorrow, Venezuela and Guyana sort outs, right? And they hug up and kiss and they good again. What are we supposed to do? Go and call Mr. Maduro and say, well, now we're sorry, we didn't know, well, they would have sort out that and but at the time. So you could forgive us, please. That's what we're supposed to do. And these people are so hell-bent against this Dragon gas deal, even though they know it is good for the country, even though they know the economic benefits that it will bring for the country. This project, we are looking at a supply of gas to Trinidad and Tobago based on the initial proven reserves. This a supply of gas for about 25 years. 25 years, right? You know how significant that is? 25 years we're talking about. And who knows what, and this is just one of several other projects that Trinidad and Tobago may be able to enter into partnership with Ghana, with Venezuela, sorry. And they are saying, tell Maduro to put the Dragon gas deal where the monkey put the nuts, because we stand against what it is that you're doing to or this issue between you and Guyana. So we must jeopardize our country's economic well-being, our economic future, because of a dispute that we have nothing to do with, right? We should stand with Guyana. But the other day, when during the CPL, the Guyanese citizens with the disrespectful selves were putting up signs saying it's no longer about chicken curry versus curry chicken. It's about money and no money, oil and no oil. We have money now and Trinidad they have none. When they were rubbing that in our face, they tell us, well, them have money now, so the tables have turned. Yeah? We're supposed to stand with that, right? We're supposed to show solidarity to that when they were being disrespectful. On August 14, the night of August 14, when Dr. Rowley made the comment in response to Anna Ubashi with respect to her claim that the NTA got 30,000 votes in Diego Martin, and Dr. Rowley saying what in Ghanaian dollars or something so. And Bharat Jagdeo, the vice president of Ghana, was asked to comment. And he was very dismissive of Dr. Rowley, implying that Dr. Rowley is being disrespectful to Guyana, when in fact Dr. Rowley was just said something in jest, something that we're accustomed to, right? Prompting several Guyanese citizens to take to social media, post videos cussing Dr. Rowley and telling Rowley, stay out the effing business and don't be talking about this so-and-so country and all of that. Right? When that was happening, who was standing in solidarity with Dr. Rowley? Did Bharat Jagdeo come to Dr. Rowley's defense? Did Irfan Ali come to Dr. Rowley's defense and say, hey, all you hold up on that? The man said something in jest. It wasn't meant to be disrespectful. Take it for what it is. Yeah? And did either of them come out and say that? Did they tell the citizens, pat down now? The man is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, a fellow leader of CARICOM, or they ease him up. No, they didn't do that. And Jagdeo decided he wanted to join in the stew too and put in his 2 cents. When he made his comment the other day about Trinidad and Tobago's economy, and he doesn't want Guyana's economy to end up like ours. Look what's happening in Trinidad. The economy is in a mess. You can't get jobs, and people are struggling, and people can't make ends meet, and all of that. When he had to say, where was the solidarity? When it is that Dr. Rowley at some CARICOM meeting that they had, or some meeting that they had, I think, and he threw out the idea, the offer to them that they could use the Point-a-Pierre refinery. And they basically told us, thanks, but no thanks. We're not interested in all your oil refinery. If all is Guyanese money, all they want, forget that. All they didn't get in it. When they were looking for proposals to build a smaller refinery in Guyana. Did they come to Trinidad and Tobago, where we have over 100 years of experience in refining oil and so on? No, did they do that? No, they didn't. They went to the Dominican Republic. Yes, the Dominican Republic, they went. Bypass Trinidad, we have nothing to do with Trinidad. Trinidad mustn't benefit from Guyanese money, from our oil money. They feel they're smart. Yeah? All kind of overtures they make it. The businessmen already coming over here and trying to, and setting up business and so on, and taking business from Guyanese nationals. Is everything they want? Solved. Where was the solidarity? There was none. None. But David Lee coming to tell the Prime Minister, well, they should reconsider. Well, I want to tell David Lee as the spokesman for the UNC, and if that is the position of the UNC, you will take that position and put it where the monkey put the nuts, and anywhere else you could find to put it. And I'm saying to our Prime Minister, as man will say, hold the wheel and mash the X. Mash the X, son. With respect to that Dragon gas deal. Forget David Lee, and because they have an issue with that Dragon gas deal because they know all of the things that could ensue from that. Aside from the economic benefits that would come, the employment opportunities, that once again the eyes of the international community would be more focused on Trinidad and Tobago, now that we're looking to establish links with Saudi Arabia and all of these different things. Trinidad and Tobago once again would be a major and significant player in respect to the gas sector. But not that we are not right now, but all of the things that the Prime Minister is doing with the renegotiation of the gas deals and so on, contracts for Atlantic LNG, where before, under the old system, the old structure, Trinidad and Tobago was only a shareholder in one of the trains, Train 1, which is now mothballed, I think. We only had 10% shareholding, and in all the other 3 trains, we were only getting royalties and taxes. But now, with this renegotiated arrangement, we are now shareholders, I think, in all of the other trains. So it's not just taxes and royalties. We also want to share in the profits as well. That's something that they didn't do. They didn't do that. Keith Rowley did that. Stuart Young did that. That happened under them. So we stand to benefit more from the exploitation of our natural resources than we did under any other administration, and even PNM administrations. Under the Keith Rowley administration, things are being put in place. So when their predecessors, from 2010 to 2015, the concessions, that generous concessions that they were offering, which would have seen Trinidad and Tobago lose out on billions of dollars in taxes, billions of dollars in taxes for close to 10 years. Under this administration, things are being put in place to ensure that we could compensate for what we would have lost out because of the generous concessions that those clowns decided to do. See what's happening in Guyana now? Same thing they do, offering generous concessions to Exxon. And Exxon raping them, going and coming, claiming for all kind of things, right? So in one quarter, where Exxon would have gotten over $4 billion from the sale of Guyanese oil, the Guyanese population and the government of Guyana gets $695 million, and Exxon got over $4 billion. Yeah, and that continues. Every day you're seeing a story popping up. This fella called Glenn Lally jamming them, no grease, highlighting what is taking place in Guyana. See what all the situation. Yes, we stand with you all. We are concerned about what is happening, but I am not of the view that the government of Trinidad and Tobago should jeopardize the future, because at the end of the day, whenever this thing resolves itself, Guyana still have oil, you know. They start and they have oil and they have gas, and I'm sure they have plenty more than we do, because right now their daily production with the latest installation that came on stream is about 620 to 650,000 barrels of oil per day. We're producing about 10% of that, about 62,000 barrels a day. So they're miles ahead of us, miles ahead of Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. So however this thing play out, at the end of the day, they're still making plenty money, and you have oil discoveries still being made. So their future is secure. The future of their citizens is secure, financially and otherwise. Development taking place apace in Guyana. And one of the opportunities that we have to be able to do similar, to revitalize our economic fortunes. You have this clown who is likely to be a future minister of energy. God forbid you all play fast and loose with your vote in 2025 and put these people back, as they seem to believe. He is saying abandon the Dragon gas deal. You see, he could say that. The UNC could say that. You know why? They have already muddied their waters with Nicolas Maduro. Their dog's dead with him. When they took a decision publicly to support Juan Guaido, Maduro want nothing to do with Kamala and the UNC. He is well aware of what their position is. Well aware. When it is, as Dr. Rowley would have mentioned in his press conference a couple of days ago, and reminded us that early on in the life of his administration, when they were seeking to bring this Dragon gas deal to fruition, that the UNC would have written to the National Assembly in Venezuela, telling them, do not support any gas deal signed between Rowley and Maduro, because the Rowley administration is an illegitimate government. And just as you all are having your issues with Maduro, the dictator, we having problems here with Rowley, the dictator. So let us all come together and ignore anything that the two dictators sign off on that could benefit both of your countries. Yeah, both of our countries. Let us do that. That is what it is. So Maduro, no, he's well aware. He wants nothing to do with them. So if they come back into power, they know, well, hey, if the Dragon gas deal hasn't been inked and we come back into power in 2025, the likelihood that we will be able to follow through on that might be slim to none. Because I'm sure Mr. Maduro has it written down in his diary somewhere. You have it in the craw waiting for them. So they can talk that talk, right? But Mr. Young is doing what it is he has to do to advance this. They went from writing to the National Assembly, they went to calling for sanctions for Dr. Rowley and Stuart Young, and the extremes that they have gone to try and sabotage this Dragon gas deal. And they want to tell us we are the government in waiting, that the UNC's return to power is imminent, and we will fix everything. How? You want to scuttle something that could bring money to Trinidad and Tobago for at least 25 years. Significant sums of money. You want to throw that down the drain. You say when you come in, you are going to cut corporation tax almost in half. So whereas Rowley increased corporation tax when he came in from 25 to a high of 35%. I was looking at Republic Bank's financials a couple of days ago to see Republic paid the government, based on their year-end results, they paid this government over $661 million in taxes. You hear that figure? One institution, Republic Bank, paid $661 million in taxes. Yes. Right? But from an economy that is on the brink, I want to ask David Lee, When you all win power, Republic Bank ever pay only $661 million in taxes. Almost $1 billion in taxes. Republic Bank, you only ever get that from Republic in the 5 years, 3 months and 14 days that you all in office, and the economy was booming. All I get that? I don't think so. But it happened under Keith Rowley. In Arima, where American stores used to be up until recently opposite the market, I see Pennywise has now taken over there. Yeah, they're now opening a 13,000 square foot store in an economy that's suffering. Yeah, people struggling, they can't buy food. But they could go in Pennywise and spend the money. So Pennywise has a store, a building in Arima already. A big building in Arima, just a stone's throw away from this one. I don't know if they're gonna close down the one that they have there now and just have one store. 13,000 square feet. They're renovating the building and all kind of thing. They probably buy the building and all. Now, if it is the economy in a mess and people have money and they can't buy basics, they can't buy food, they could buy cosmetics. So clearly, Pennywise is of the view that there is money to be had in Arima. There is money to be had in Arima. They realized there was money to be had in Shogunas because this big Pennywise Plaza that they opened on Nassau Maya Road. Driving down there a couple of days ago and again, the same thing. You also see the development taking place on Nassau Maya Road just now. That just prior to this administration coming into office in 2015, almost the whole of Nassau Maya Road was bush. Bush, that whole stretch, after you passed the Ministry of they built, the UNC built that, it was supposed to be the Ministry of Science, Technology and Tertiary Education, and the PNM repurposed the building and put the Ministry of Agriculture there. But from there, after you pass there, go straight down, other than Baraka grounds, which was just land. Go down that stretch from Ministry of Agriculture, go all the way down to Price Plaza. Now they're putting up another huge complex there. Just development taking place on that stretch alone. But the economy is suffering. The economy on the brink. The economy in tatters. But all that development didn't take place between 2010 to 2015 when the economy was booming according to them. That didn't happen. But in a struggling economy, millions and hundreds of millions of dollars being spent all around the country to develop. Things that didn't happen. So all who driving down and around west, just take a look on the left-hand side if you're heading west. On the right-hand side if you're heading east. And look how nice that area looking at. I will waiting to see what they're going to put next to Extra Foods there because I saw excavators and so on developing the land. So probably some other big structure going up there, or I don't know if they're going to extend the car park there because, And when I saw this article with I'm seeing Marilyn is saying Passage Supermarket opening a big store in Gulfview near Massey. Yes. Carol is saying Pennywise old building is for rent. And Nikki is saying Extra Foods opening the new store today. Yeah. Massive, massive store. Massive. All of these companies are investing money because they know why. There are people. Why would you open a new and expanded store or location if nobody is spending money? It's because you want to accommodate, because when you, at any point in time, and this is what I hate to go to Pennywise, aside from the attitude of the workers. They go in Pennywise, it's ram-cram, too much people. I hate to go there. That I really have. The only time I would go that I really go to Pennywise is, if it is that there is a period of time between traveling and if my cologne runs out, because they, other than in duty free, they are one of the few places that carry the cologne that I use. And so I would go there. But other than I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it. But when I saw that article posted up on Facebook and I was reading it and I went into the comments, if you see, when all they come in Tobago, we need about 2 Pennywise in Tobago. When all they come in Point 14, yeah, come down south, all over the country, they call in for Pennywise. But the same people who saying, we need a Pennywise here and we need a Pennywise there, the same people who complaining, they're working on 2013 salaries and they can't afford to pay bills. We can't afford to pay no increased electricity rates. We can't afford to pay no property tax. Yeah, but we want a Pennywise. When they go to Pennywise, how much money they're spending? Property tax is 50, for some people it's $50-something a month. For some people, $80-something a month. For some people, $120 a month. You know anybody going Pennywise and spending $50-something for the month? Anybody going Pennywise and spending $120 for the month? Really? Who? We complaining they want to increase water rates. Some only paying $108 a quarter. You know anybody going Pennywise and spend $108 in a month? For some people, that is a significant part of the budget. When they sit down to write down how the salary going, Pennywise at the top of the list. First thing, every month. Pennywise jack up the prices, we have no problem. We still go in and buy it. Yeah? Some of them, well, that's why they want Kamala to come back so they could get the $500 baby grant so they could run to Pennywise and buy stuff. But Rowley want to make the rich richer. Yeah, it's because of Keith Rowley that Pennywise opening another store, a bigger store in Arima. It's because of Keith Rowley that Extra Foods opened this big place in Arang Wednesday. It's because of Keith Rowley that Starbucks, Prestige Holdings opening up more and more Starbucks outlets, Rituals opening more and more outlets throughout the country, more KFC outlets. Yes, because of Keith Rowley. It's because, you know why? Because every month, Keith Rowley, Sharon Rowley, the two daughters, and the in-laws, they are the only people, they go to all of these places and shop. So when Prestige Holdings decided they wanted to open another Starbucks, they said we opening it because Keith Rowley and his family buy Starbucks. That was the motivation for it. It's not because we have significant demand from the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who complaining. I can't pay property tax. I can't afford to pay $81 a month. And they might be saying that is a small money, but for a family that's struggling, for the average public servant who's struggling, can't afford that. But go to any government office and sit down and wait. Go early. And when they open, you'll see for yourself. They're walking in every morning with the chai tea or the Starbucks coffee and the bagel or some sandwich in their hand that costed the two things together costing about $79. Yeah, I'm aware. I've been to, well, I'm not a coffee drinker. I can't stand the taste of coffee. But I've been to Starbucks, people say, all right, let's go to Starbucks now. And see people buy that. Breakfast, $79. But, and they're doing that once for the week, yeah? Or once for the month. All right. They're doing that once for the month. But we're suffering and we can't pay. Things bad and the economy in a mess. But tell David Lee that now. David Lee said, so the economy in a mess. Let us do something to make it even worse. So something that is so promising and that could bring significant revenue to the economy of Trinidad and Tobago for at least the next 25 years. Hear that? Now, all I need to abandon that and stand in solidarity with Guyana. But I'm not here in Guyana saying, well, here what now? Let's stand with us. And if as a result of the money that you all would lose out on that deal, we are willing to pick up the slack. So you all could come to Guyana and help us to develop our gas economy. And we will see what we could do, how we could send the gas to Atlantic LNG. They're saying that. They say, hey, what now? Stand with us. Stand in solidarity with us. And we understand that to do so means that you have to defy Maduro. And you're giving up something significant that could assist the very economy that Barra Jagdeo says is in a mess. If you Barra Jagdeo say, well, here what? Well, stand with us now and we will buy the Petrotrin, the refinery. Stand with us now and we will send our oil we will help you to restart the refinery and we will send our oil to Trinidad. They saying that? No. They ain't saying nothing like that. But these clowns who fancy themselves to be the government in waiting want to tell Dr. Rowley and the PNM, oh, I need to do that. Stand with Guyana and to hell with us. And when they sort out their business, Guyana business fix. Dispute or no dispute, oil selling. Dispute or no dispute, oil selling every month or however every quarter, the Guyanese government getting the taxes and royalties and whatever else they're getting from ExxonMobil and whoever else exploiting the oil. They getting the money. Their development, you feel their development stopping? Did you hear Irfan Ali say, well, you see that highway that we're building there or this complex that we're putting up there, it has to stop? No, they're continuing full speed ahead. I say to Dr. Rowley, do the same thing. Do the same thing. I'm seeing somebody here by the name of Theo Antoine saying, stop defending that field government. Which field government is that? You're talking about the PNM? How has the government failed? You see, when you all come on here, let me try and keep my pressure down this morning. When you all come on here with your foolishness, right? And I'm assuming you're talking about the, well, all right, I will leave it there. I will assume, I will leave it before I will leave it to you to state, give me a little more. Let me know which government, because I don't want to assume that you're talking about the PNM and then I have to open up on you and that's not what you meant. Maybe you're responding to somebody else's comment who was defending the the UNC, and you're probably telling them stop defending that failed government. I don't know if you're talking to somebody else or you're talking to me. So I'll give you an opportunity, Theo Antoine. I've never seen your name before, but I'm giving you an opportunity to please tell me who you're talking about. You're talking about the UNC or the PNM? I'm waiting for you. You're holding up my life. And you need to define who you're talking about. I don't want to open up and then I'm wrong. And that you're talking about the UNC. So just tell me in the comment here who you're talking about, the PNM or the UNC, please. Stop wasting my time. Right? But if it is you're talking about the UNC, I apologize. But if not, and you're talking about the PNM, please define it there so I can deal with you one time. Right? Anyway. So I see, yeah. So let me forget about David Lee and I'm going to say I can't afford $5 Starbucks coffee. McDonald's $1 coffee. Well, she buys McDonald's. Yes. So let me see here. So let me see if I pull up this article here. So we will ignore these clowns, but I want them to continue to push that narrative, right? That and I hope that those folks who have a responsibility for social media and public relations in the PNM, that you all will deal with that issue, yeah. So that you all, the platforms that you all have access to that I don't, spread the word now so the people could understand what they can expect if that party were to come back into office and the foolishness that they advocated. Because to them, it makes sense for us to abandon the Dragon gas deal. And what is even worse, where Dale and Tony talk to any of the usual suspects that they run to for comment as to that position of the UNC, have they gone to Kevin Ramnarine and asked Kevin, what you think? You think what David Lee saying makes sense? Is that the position of the UNC, Kevin? Is it a good idea, Kevin? Why didn't you run to Karen, who is an energy expert? She knows everything about everything in the energy sector. Have they gone to Karen to ask her, so Mrs. Tishara, what is your position on the matter? Do you support the UNC's call for the Prime Minister and the PNM and the government to abandon the Dragon gas deal in support and solidarity with Guyana? Do you think it's a good idea? They asked, what, Ralph going and write an article on that to say yes, it's a good idea? I ask it. About they have a position, Martin Daly have a position on that? I ain't see the media run into the usual suspects. I haven't seen or read any interviews with the usual suspects to ask them if that making sense. What about the head of the chamber, the various chambers? What about the energy sector gurus and stuff like Thackeray Driver and all of that? Have they gone to them to ask them what they think about that so that they could rebuff the UNC and their foolishness? No, everybody sit down in our corner crowd. So we don't want to offend, just in case. Yeah, but they for country. Make a public statement. Well, you know where the media is. You're always quick to call up media house and press conference and the like and have a comment and a statement to put out. The Manufacturers Association put out any statement? The American Chamber of Commerce, the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber, any of them put out a statement rebuffing the UNC and this foolishness? Everybody in the corner. We don't want to offend nobody. We don't want to seem political. Right? But silence is consent. When it was announced that the headway that is being made, only applauding. Yes, we want to commend the government for this initiative, but you have the government in waiting telling you we should scuttle it. Is that an indication that if they come into office, that is what they're going to do? What you are doing to protect it and to tell them how they tail? But yeah, people want to come on here to tell me about defending. I'm still waiting. Where is Theo? Have you disappeared? Where are you? Make your position known. Ask you to define for me which party, which government you're talking about. But anyway, in the interim, while I'm waiting, let me deal with something else. Where did I put this article? You know, some people have absolutely no shame. So I came across an article yesterday entitled, what is this thing? UNC in election prep in December. Vasant and Fuad consider contesting seats for UNC. This is Vasant Bharat and Fuad Khan. Two men who challenged Kamla Persad-Bissessar for the leadership of the UNC and failed miserably are now saying that they are considering offering themselves to be screened to contest seats in the next general election under a UNC ticket. Former UNC St. Augustine MP Vasan Bharat will consider seeking nomination for that seat when the time is appropriate. So far, almost half of the opposition UNC's MPs intend to begin the process for re-election when the party opens nominations in December. UNC lifetime member Bharat said he would consider nomination. Here his reason. Because TNT is in ruins, nothing works, and no one is taking responsibility. A change of government is necessary if we are to change course before it's too late. Bharat, who unsuccessfully challenged UNC leader Kamla Prasad Bisesa for leadership in 2015 and 2020, attended UNC's Monday report at Cuba, probably hoping for a rapprochement. Maybe she would have seen him and say, I would like to single out or to acknowledge in the audience former Minister Vasan Bharat, who is here with us this evening. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Prasad Bisesa, right. So it says here, Prasad Bisesa announced that as the UNC prepares to enter the general election next year, nominations will be opened in December for all 41 seats in TNT. They never contest Tobago. They're always 39. This is the same woman who the other day said the reason why they don't contest the Tobago seats is because she's of the considered view, and the UNC is of the considered view, that a party that is rooted in Trinidad ought not to control the affairs of Tobago, and that Tobago should be allowed to handle their own stories, and that is why the UNC doesn't contest the Tobago seats. That the Tobago seat should be left to a Tobago party. But yesterday was yesterday and today is today. Yeah, they want to talk about before Dr. Rowley went on the trip, he said this and then he come back and so on. But here it is, you have this woman saying now they're contesting all 41 seats. So for the first time, they want to contest the Tobago seats. I wonder who they contested it under UNC ticket or a TPP ticket. Morning to JB Harper. JB, the next post you put up on Facebook, help me out with that now. The UNC contesting all 41 seats, but I want to know if the 2 seats in Tobago will be UNC representatives or proxies, TPP representatives who will be UNC proxies. Help me out with that now, because it seems you have an insight on with the TPP. So you are one of the main mouthpieces. So it'd be nice to find out that now. Is it that talks are in the works for some sort of accommodation? I just want to know. I see the NTA also opening nominations to contest all 41 seats. So I don't know how they're planning to do that, because they say Gary say they continue in the accommodation, NTA, UNC. But if he screening 41 candidates and they screening 41 candidates, are confused. Why are you screening candidates for UNC? The NTA screening candidates for Siparia? The NTA screening candidates for Oropouche East and Oropouche West? Really? You could fool some people, they're fooling me now, but anyway. Bharat, saying he attended a UNC meeting for the first time in 5 years, explained why he's considering nomination. Out of control murders and gang violence, almost every state institution has failed. The criminal justice system, education, police service, WASA, NIB, etc., roads and infrastructure in a deplorable state. There is widespread social decay, frightening violence at schools. I am saddened by the UNC string of defeats since 2013, but I'll continue advocating for a better, stronger UNC that will remove the PNM. I have been told by several MPs and others close to the political leader that I shouldn't waste my time filing nomination papers because the lady doesn't want to hear your name. Frankly, I'm not deterred by that. He is not deterred by that, so he still intends to offer himself. Now, Mr. Bharat well knows that it is Mrs. Prasad Bisesa. Once she is able so to do, and she's still in the land of the living, she is the person who's going to be leading the UNC into the general election 2025. This is the same woman who tell him, you say, country before party, then go to hell. Go to hell. She told him that. She referred to him as an elitist. They call him a knife and fork Indian. You all remember that? When he was challenging her for leadership. Was it last year or something so? Yes, they referred to him as that, an elitist knife and fork Indian. That's what they call him. And then they come now, she tell you all of that. And yet still you are saying you're willing to offer yourself. You want to go off for nomination if they will have you. So you say, I changed my mind. I'm ready for party before country. Because I know if it is that I am selected, I understand I will not be the leader. But I'm prepared to serve another term under Kamla Prasad Bisesa. The same woman who I told all you last year needs to go. The same woman who I told you all has served her time and that she's a spent force. Her political currency is worth less than the Bolivar. And I said all kind of things about her in an attempt to unseat her. I told the membership of the UNC, she ain't no good, that I am the best person to lead the party. She has to go. But I come in now today to tell her that I'm willing to put all of that behind me. Let bygones be bygones and serve under Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar for another term because of her erudite and astute leadership. Yeah? So all the things I tell her why she is no good and should not serve as prime minister in this country again, I take it back. I take it back. So when all that talk I tell her about country before party, I wasn't of the right mind. I wasn't of sound mind at the time. I take that back. Take that back to all them things that I say. And then Fuad Khan, whose campaign, when he was challenging her for the leadership, was sabotaged, right? When he was doing his lives on Facebook and so on, and they reported his page, and his page was shut down for 30 days, so he had to do his lives to other people. So he would do his live and then send it to Shane Mohammed or whoever in order for it to be posted on Facebook because his page was disabled. They did that to him. That was sanctioned by the persons, the leadership of the party. That was sanctioned by Kamala's cohort. They do him that. All kind of things they say about he too. But he coming back, yes, well, I am considering nomination as well. So I could serve under Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar. Yeah? All the time we tell her, no, she ain't no good. She's no good for the country. But we are saying we are willing to put that aside, overlook that. And these people want to tell you they have the country's interest at heart. You see the quality of, well, or the lack thereof? That party. So when you all were telling us all these things, well, the only person we're waiting for now is Marsha Walker. Marsha to come and say, well, yes. I intend to contest the Martin West under the leadership of Kamala Prasad-Bissessar. Yeah, she might as well come out and do that. And whoever else, all the rest all here. The folks who gone across the hope, Timothy Hamill-Smith and Fazal Karim and all of these guys, well, they better all come back home. Yeah, Jack did it. After Jack told us all kind of things about her. Yeah? But he does it up. He said, forget that, that was in the past. She good now. She good. What has changed, Basant? What has changed between last year when you challenged the leadership of the party to now? What has changed? Has Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar changed all the things you told us about her and why she's unfit to lead? Has that improved? So much so that you are willing now to serve another term under her? Or is it that you're part of a palace coup and you anticipate that she's going to be removed before 2025? So you're offering yourself. Well, to the best of my knowledge, if they're opening for nominations in December and so on, the process of screening is going to take place shortly thereafter. And if that is the case, more than likely you would be screened by a panel under Kamala Prasad-Bissessar. Now, if you offer up your nomination, they can't reject the nomination. They could reject you. Let's tell you put up yourself a screen and come. But you see the same thing we did to Ramesh when he came, and the question was put to him that if he is a part of the government and he sees corruption going on, what he would do. And he will sing like a canary, and that was the end of he. Go ahead, Navasat. Yeah, but this is you all are the people. You all have no integrity. None. That you are willing to capitulate. Capitulate your integrity. For the sake of what? The mighty dollar? Power? Well, you want to buy another Porsche Cayenne to drive about the place? Because the ministry's Prados are not good enough for you? You want a PE what? PEZ? Whatever the series will be in 2025? Huh? I just asking, but we're supposed to put faith in these people. I'm gonna look at the time, 7:15. I'm gonna touch something here. July 1st, 2010. That is the last thing I touch on before I open the line. We're talking recusals this morning under the last administration, 2010 to 2015. July 1st, 2010, Minister Jacques Warner. Subject, cabinet discussion, the finals of the FIFA World Cup tournament, Johannesburg, South Africa, July 11, 2010. So this is July 1st, 2010. Cabinet had the cabinet meeting that was held on July 1st, 2010, decided to discuss the finals of the FIFA World Cup tournament in Johannesburg. Why is the cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago 10 days before the World Cup discussing the finals of the FIFA World Cup tournament? Did Trinidad and Tobago have a team in the World Cup? To the best of my knowledge, the last time Trinidad and Tobago, and only time Trinidad and Tobago featured in the World Cup was in 2006. So I'm hard pressed to understand why Cabinet was discussing the finals of the FIFA World Cup tournament on the 1st of July 2010 to warrant Jack Warner seeking a recusal. Now, we know Dr. Rowley has been telling us within the recent past about a certain meeting that would have taken place in Johannesburg, South Africa, during the World Cup, where officials from a company called OAS would have, by private charter, flown to Johannesburg to have a meeting with a government minister from Trinidad and Tobago with respect to the Point Fortin Highway. And Dr. Rowley has made the point that nobody, no member of the UNC, has spoken on this issue, right? They have never denied that this meeting took place. But here it is that we are seeing, based on official documents, that on the 1st of July 2010, this is they came into office, June. So this is a month and probably a half or less after they came into office. The Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago, rather than discussing issues that is to the benefit of the nation, discussed the finals of the FIFA World Cup. I was not able to get the details of what they discussed. Unfortunately, they couldn't tell me. But Mr. Warner would have recused himself from that meeting, and so he wasn't part of that discussion. But it would be interesting to know, was that discussed? Was that the issue that was discussed? OAS meeting with Mr. Warner in Johannesburg to discuss the airport, not the airport, sorry, the highway. I just asking the question. Going again. October 22nd, 2014, Honorable Dr. Tim Gopi Singh recused himself from cabinet meeting, subject being discussed, payment for the lease rental of a parcel of land situated at number 134 to 136 Charlotte Street, Port of Spain, in occupation by the Interagency Task Force of the Ministry of National Security. So for those of us who are familiar with Charlotte Street, you know, at the back of the CCJ, there's a parcel of land that is currently occupied by the Interagency Task Force, number 134 to 136 Charlotte Street. Cabinet would have discussed on the 22nd of October 2014 the payment for the lease and rental of that parcel of land, and Tim Gopi Singh had to recuse himself. Why would Tim Gopi Singh recuse himself from such discussions? Is it that Tim Gopi Singh owns that parcel of land? Or someone who is related to Tim Gopi Singh owns that parcel of land? How much is the rent for that parcel of land that is currently occupied by the Interagency Task Force? How much is that? But they want to talk about Paris and the government renting building from Paris and the family. But here it is, we see payment for lease and rental of a parcel of land situated at number 134 to 136 Charlotte Street. Well, I guess the decision was made on that day because that was the first and last time that issue was discussed. So they discussed it once, and I guess the decision was taken to rent or lease that parcel of land. I go again. The Honorable Senator Gerald Hadid, November 27, 2014, recused himself, subject discussed by Cabinet, lease rental of office space in a building located at number 134 Henry Street, Port of Spain, to accommodate the Caribbean Court of Justice and the Ministry of the Attorney General. So that building, which is currently occupied by the CCJ, it would appear it is owned by one Senator Gerald Hadid or someone related to him, such that he had to recuse himself as Cabinet took the decision to continue the lease or the rent of that particular building. So we will try and find out what is the monthly rent for that building. But it was to lease office space in the building to accommodate the CCJ and the Ministry of the Attorney General. Now, we know the Attorney General, this is one of several. I wonder if the Attorney General, Office of the Attorney General, ever took up that space. You see, because the Auditor General's report would show us and tell us that there were two at least 2 buildings that were rented by the Office of the Attorney General. One on Pembroke Street and one on Abercrombie Street, was it? For which $5 million was paid in rent and $9 million was paid in rent, and the buildings were never occupied. For the entire 3 years that they were rented, they were never occupied. December 18, 2014, again, Dr. the Honorable Tim Gopi Singh. Subject, he recused himself. Subject, refund of tax. Here they say, refund or remission of tax payable and interest paid on a loan granted by Scotiabank Trinidad and Tobago Limited to Chandel Holdings Limited, trading as the Chancellor Hotel. Refund of tax payable and interest paid on a loan granted by Scotiabank Trinidad and Tobago to Chandel Holdings Limited, trading as Chancellor Hotel. So Chancellor Hotel paid a tax. Chancellor Hotel took a loan from Scotiabank and paid interest on the loan. And the government is repaying Tim Gopi Singh, or someone related to Tim Gopi Singh, paying back the tax that was paid, as well as the interest on the loan, for a loan that was taken by Chancellor Hotel. Is it that Tim Gopi Singh is a part owner of Chancellor Hotel? Is it that Mr. Gopi Singh is related to somebody affiliated with the Chancellor Hotel? He's in some way. And why is the government of Trinidad and Tobago refunding the tax payable? Because I'm not seeing, when I look through this, I'm not seeing anybody else getting such generous treatment. Refund of tax, interest paid on the loan. Why does cabinet have to make that decision? Because this money, taxes is paid to the government, so it's only the government could give instructions to pay back taxes. I just asking the question. The Honorable Tim Gopi Singh again, recusal, January 8, 2015, extension of the term of office of government representatives on the board of directors of Alutrent Limited. So is it that a family member of Dr. Gopi Singh was sitting on the board of Alutrent? And why will we be extending the term of office of the board of Alutrent when the government, very early on in their term, got rid of the smelter? Alutrent was the board that was supposed to look after the smelter. But Gopi Singh recused himself on the 8th of January 2015 in respect of that. We go in again. January 29, 2015, Senator the Honorable Larry Hawaii recused himself. Subject, establishment of a cardiovascular center in the Mount Hope area. So the government was seeking to establish a cardiovascular center in the Mount Hope area, and Senator the Honorable Larry Hawaii decided to recuse himself. Why did Larry Hawaii recuse himself from that? Again, the matter came up for discussion on the 5th of March 2015. And again, Senator the Honorable Larry Hawaii recused himself. Establishment of a cardiovascular center in Mount Hope area through a public-private partnership arrangement. So which one of Larry Hawaii family members got the contract to do this cardiovascular center? But they want to come and tell you about Imbert wife. And Imbert wife get contract to power wash the roof of the Brian Lara Stadium. So I'm asking, why did Larry Hawaii have to recuse himself from that? Senator the Honorable Gerald Hadid, variation of the decision with respect to the lease in favor of Blue Waters Products Limited in respect of a parcel of state land situated at Orange Grove Estate in the ward of Tacarigua for industrial commercial purposes, July 2nd, 2015. July 9, 2015, Senator the Honorable Gerald Hadid again had to recuse himself. Variation of decision with respect to the lease in favor of Blue Waters Product Limited in respect of a parcel of state land situated at Orange Grove Estate in the ward of Tacarigua for industrial and commercial purposes. July 9, 2015, again, the Honorable Dr. Tim Gopi Singh recused himself, subject being discussed, proposal for the change of use of a parcel of state land situated at number 5 Broome Street in St. Clair from residential to commercial purpose. Proposal for the change of use of a parcel of state land situated at number 5 Broome Street in St. Clair. State land. So is it that Dr. Gopi Singh was interested, or somebody affiliated with Dr. Gopi Singh was interested in purchasing or acquiring a parcel of state land to change from residential to commercial use. And Dr. Gopi Singh saw it fit to recuse himself. So we were giving away state land now to ministers and persons affiliated with said ministers. I just ask him. So, we're going again. Let's see. Senator the Honorable Devant Maharaj, October 5th, 2012, recused himself, subject being discussed, the grant of a Type 5 national concession to Central Broadcasting Services Limited to provide a subscription-based television broadcasting service via a cable network. Clifton de Coto, August 20th, 2012, recused himself, subject being discussed, the grant of a full pay study leave to officers of the Meteorological Services Division, Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources, variation of one award in marine meteorology. March 8, 2012, Senator the Honorable Kevin Ramnarine recused himself, revised bid proposal in connection with the grant of a production sharing contract to British Gas International Limited for Block 5D. Why is Kevin Ramnarine seeking to recuse himself? Because this is the only bid proposal that I'm seeing him recusing himself from. Revised bid proposal in connection with the grant of a production sharing contract. So is it that Mr. Ramnarine, someone affiliated to him, had some connection with this bid proposal for a production sharing contract to find oil and gas? I just want to. April 3rd, 2014, Senator the Honorable Jairam Simangal recused himself, subject being discussed by Cabinet, the rescoping of the project for the construction of a facility to house the Ministry of Public Administration. Why is Jairam Simangal recusing himself? Rescoping of the project for the construction of a facility to house the Ministry of Public Administration. I would love to know. Anybody can help me out? But we have no recusals. Senator the Honorable Larry Hawaii, September 20th, 2012, just come in as Minister of Finance. Recused himself, subject being discussed, funding for the supplemental program of works for PURE, Ministry of Works and Transport. Funding for the supplemental program of works for PURE. So is it that somebody affiliated with the Honorable Larry Hawaii would have gotten a contract to pave roads under the PURE program? Or is it that Mr. Hawaii himself had interest in a company that got a contract, road paving contract? I just ask him. We have recusals from Hubert Volney, recusals from Nizam Bash, recusals from Vasant Bharat, recusals from Errol McLeod, recusals from Marlene Kudre, recusals from Anand Ramlogan, recusals from Carolyn Sipasad Beechan. February 27, 2014, Carolyn Sipasad Beechan recused herself, subject being discussed, lease, rental and outfitting of office space in the building located at number 69 to 70 Sackville Street, Port of Spain, to accommodate the 8th America Competitiveness Forum Secretariat, Ministry of Planning and Sustainable Development. I wonder why Carolyn decided to recuse herself from that discussion. But we're talking about Faris and the government renting office space and building from Faris family. But here we see, in addition to Gerald Hadid, we have Carolyn Sipasad Beechan also having to recuse herself over discussion of lease and rental and outfitting of office space in a building located at 69 to 70 Sackville Street. I wonder if that is upstairs, that building. Yeah, anyway, I will check that out and we will see. Yeah? Senator the Honorable Anand Ramlogan recused himself on December 18, 2014. So just about a month or so before he gets his throat bust. Appointment of a task force to review the merger of Columbus International Incorporated and Cable and Wireless Communications. Why is Anand Ramlogan recusing himself from that. This is a man who's shown himself to have no scruples. Yeah? Wonder what involvement he had in that. But in the interest of time, I will continue this when I come back from my trip. Because I want to juxtapose it against the recusals that they talk about with Paris and Stuart Young. Yeah? So we will discuss it side by side. You see these inveterate liars? Oh, we had no recusal between 2010 to 2015. Really? Mrs. Prasad Bisesa? Oh, they had no recusal. You know what I find interesting is that you'll recall that a company that was previously owned and managed by one Stephen Cadiz before he came into politics, that they got a $42 or $48 million, $42 to $48 million from the state to maintain the water taxis, while Mr. Cadiz was the Minister of Works, or the Minister of Transport, because Kamala had split the ministry. While he was the Minister of Transport, Tropical Power, which was the company that he owned and still owns, because since he's departed from public life, he's gone back there. But you know, you have to divorce yourself from any business interest that you have to become a minister to avoid conflicts of interest. But yet still, this company, the man was the Minister of Transport. The water taxis falling under him directly. The entity that manages the water taxis, NETCO, was under he. Right? And he, company that he owns, company that he ran before he became minister, company that he has now gone back to, company that is still in the family name, while he is the Minister of Transport, he have $48 million to maintain the water taxis. It's not here. No recusal. Yeah? No recusal. You know what that tells you? That the honest party, the honest government that they claim to be, when the Integrity in Public Life Act clearly spells out conflict of interest, what you're supposed to do, where a conflict of interest arises, you are supposed to recuse yourself from any discussions that treats with that matter. But it seemed like plenty of them ministers in that administration between 2010 to 2015 didn't care to recuse themselves. So they decided, well, to hell with that cabinet discussing it, I just sit down and think, because remember, it's a free for all. When it is, we could tell people like David Abdullah, well, we're not going to shut down the special interest or the special purpose companies because we need to create jobs for the boys. We're going to when they say, right, next item on the agenda for discussion by cabinet. Let me get it here. The commissioning of, no, not that. Payment for the lease or rental of a parcel of land situated wherever. And man decide, well, yeah, I had to leave. They say, where you going? No, well, remember, I own that piece of land. But behave yourself, sit down there. What the hell going on with you? You don't know you're playing thing. You know we going on rent the land from here already. You know we going on rent the building. You're wasting time. You're going outside to do what? To breathe? Look, boy, behave your blasters, sit down there. That, I'm certain, was the norm under that administration. So don't even bother to recuse yourself. Where are you recusing yourself? Get your pen. You know the precedent has been set. So hell, who will know? All right, who will ask about them thing? You know the average Trini couldn't care less, because right now they're eating our food, they're drinking our juice and the blood. So we're giving them all kind of handouts. We give them baby grant. We give them color me orange. We giving them food card. So they're happy. They don't care if we thiefing. They may care, because you know what plenty of them say now that they're out of office. They thief, but at least they do. So we okay. Once we benefit into, or like a thief, how much all you want. But when the other party is in power, oh, we will talk about corruption from now till the cows come home. But when our party is in power, our party in government, once we eat in our food, they could thief and thief and thief. But once they do, once we eat into, we good. Even if what we eating is crumbs compared to what they eating, we don't care. We eating. So we vex with Rowley, because you know what? We ain't eating like we used to eat at that camera. We ain't getting no such a box drain contract. Never mind, we don't know how to pull a line. We don't know how to mix mortar. But they was given me contract and we was eating food. We ain't getting that under Rowley. Rowley not feeding the ground. He ain't feeding the ground troops. Yeah? So we ain't getting no food card despite the fact that we working. all the benefits that we don't qualify for that we were getting under camera. We get no $1,000 voucher and all them kind of thing. Rowley and them, they tight. We ain't getting that. Under camera, we is getting that. So we don't care if she thief. So they have no regard for recusals, no regard for conflict of interest and what the Integrity in Public Life Act says. So save and accept for the unfortunate thing is, cabinet notes, well, fortunately, unfortunately, cabinet notes are considered exempt documents under the Freedom of Information Act. So I can't get the details, the verbatim, the minutes of the cabinet meeting. So I could read through to see exactly what went on and who say what, and what was the representation made, and what is the connection of these people to these items that were discussed. I can't get that. Can't ask for that. Right? And they take it for granted. Well, even if these things are exempt documents, so they can't even bring it up in court because it is exempt. So the only people who could ever lay sight on that would be the members of the existing cabinet. And if they are not inclined to go and dig up and find out, right? The average member of the public, even members of cabinet, cannot file a Freedom of Information request to get that information because it is exempt under law. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, before I open the line, quickly, that is why when Mr. Manning and the PNM took a decision to make certain documents exempt under the Freedom of Information Act, 2009 and early 2010. The UNC was all over the place. Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the rest of them, Munilal and the PNM trying to hide. They're not interested in transparency. They're trying to hide from they're trying to deny public access to the information so they could do their bubble and people wouldn't be able to request the documents to see what went on. They make a whole stink about it. That was one of the issues that they campaigned on to get into office in 2010. Oh, they changed the law and manning this and manning that. They came into office. They had a majority, a larger majority than Patrick Manning had when he made the change to the law. 5 years, 3 months, and 14 days, they came into office and they did absolutely nothing. They had the majority. They could have fixed it. The problems all they had with the law, they could have just simply come to Parliament and reverse what the Manning administration did and make all of these documents available to the general public. File a Freedom of Information request and you could get the information. Did they do that? No talk about that after they come into office, but they made a big issue about it prior to coming into office. But how Manning and them trying to hide information and they don't want the public to know. And you all came into office, had the power to change it and didn't. Why? So that when all they do things like this, yeah? In cabinet, and you decide you're not recusing yourself, and you'll encourage that slackness, and man sit down there and issues being discussed to their own benefit and benefit of their friends and their family, and they didn't recuse themselves as the Integrity in Public Life Act requires them so to do, that the members of the public cannot get the information because it is exempt under law. But they're all about transparency and probity, and they're about good governance, honesty in public life. Why you didn't change the law? And you had an issue with it and you could have changed it. Why you didn't change it? You didn't change it because when you do your bubble, when you come into office and you do your racket and your bubble, you realize, yeah boy, we had to make sure they never find out. 7701763. So we're supposed to vote for that as government in waiting. And yeah. Oh boy. The supporters have nothing to say about it. Well, one sec there, Jen. Let me just put on this thing. Give me one sec there, Jenny. I'm just trying to connect this thing. This thing this morning. Come on, thing, where you man? Just now, Jenny, hold on. Right. Yeah, Jen, go ahead.
Hi, morning, Dominic. Morning to all the callers and those who are listening and tuning into Facts and Stubborn Things. You know, Dominic gives me like my coffee and morning. I don't drink coffee. I have to get tea.
Yeah.
We as a people, all peoples in this country, no matter what ethnic group you're from, if we're not careful, we will descend into a place where things like racism will become rampant. And especially we as a people of African descent. And this has hinged on everything that you have been saying. Under the UNC in 2010-15, we have seen this new phenomenon in my mind, that if it's not illegal, then nothing is wrong with it. So if you take away the part that if it is not illegal, then what you're left with is morals, ethics, and values. Because those things cannot be, those things are not things they can mandate. That is something you are taught as a child from a foundation, and you have to have those things. Why I'm saying that is this. I saw a picture this morning on a page. I can't remember the page, where there were about 5 or 6 young ladies of African descent. It looked as if they were dressed for party in the shorts and the bags and that kind of thing. Yeah. And the picture was what HTC, but basically what HTC Housing Development them from. I found that to be very racist, and as a form to me of covert racism.
Yes.
Because what it does, it has people saying, yeah, Maloney, yeah, look at that. And when those who complain, they say, but is the truth? That's where they're from. No, let's just say you put up a picture of 6 or 7 Indian young ladies, East Indian young ladies, dressed to go parties, and you say, which part of over the Caroni Bridge they're from, or which rural area they're from. Then you're going to see the society saying, that's why I say we have to be very conscious. Why are you saying that I'm racist? All you can do that. But once you do it with people of African descent, they always refer back. But it's the truth. So the killings going on is African, you're doing it, and it's the mother who taking the money, and you complain. But that is the truth. And they hide behind this flimsy thing that is the truth. And that is exactly what you're speaking about with all the recusal and all the things UNC have done. It's not illegal. So where's the problem? And is it true that Forrest had to recuse themselves? But they're not talking about when they recuse themselves. Correct. And we continue in the spiral. I think that we need to be very careful as a society. We need to be careful as a people that we do not continue to allow people to say things about the African community, and we just simply say, but is the truth we are vexed for? And not understanding the covert racism underneath the whole thing, subliminal, and the discrimination and prejudice about it. Because if you do it to people of East Indian descent, you have everybody jumping out that it's racist. You talk about lies, it's racist. You talk about the hair, it's racist. You talk about the behavior, it's racist. You talk about there's incest in the East Indian community, they say you're racist. You speak about suicide in the East Indian community, it's racist. You talk about crime in the East Indian community, you're racist. But it's okay to talk about all that about the African community. But that's true, it's real. The insiders get on. So that's what I'm saying again. I'm warning people in this country again. We need to understand tolerance. People don't really understand what is tolerance, and side by side we stand, every creed and race, find an equal place. Find an equal place. We do not truly understand that, because to me, it appears as though once some of Indian descent find them place, nobody else must find their place, especially people of African descent. And Dominic, you have a blessed season. Happy Thanksgiving, eat your turkey, whatever. I don't eat meat, so I can't tell you bring back some snow. All I'll tell you, if it has snow, put some snow in a bottle and bring some. I'm going to have a blessed one.
All right, Jed, you too. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dom. How are you, darling?
I am good.
Enjoying the cold?
Not yet.
Okay. Now we can laugh this morning. UNC lie so much, you forget they lie. You have proof, right? Of the accusers. What can they now see? They forget. If you forget those things, how you're going to lead a nation? Because those are important facts of the UNC. You know, did I date today? Did I date last week? You smell it bad. Even the cockroach commit suicide. So you don't know what accusers mean? They've all the intellects in the world. You know, UNC has every brain power. They have the IQ is out of this world. They could teach God how to be smart. But you don't know? When you hear, I remember one of them is when fraud can't and want to go back.
Yes.
If I bad talk you're mad, you're stupid, denial, you're a teacher bandit. Why would I go back in a party? I'm just as bad or worse than you. Not so. Who are they trying to fool, Dominic? I mean, you have to be a scientist to understand, you know, I don't like you. Party before country. Did Bassett change his mind?
Seems so.
So you now saying that the country don't matter? You have wife, children, grandchildren, parents. You're going to put the children and the wife under the umbrella of UNC, the party? That is saying, because like, if country don't matter, party first, right? What happened if party fall apart? What we run to? Under a sick leave, what a curry leave, what under turban brand?
Yes.
I know it sounds joke here, but there's a serious side to it. There is no PNM not perfect, okay? But PNM in all the years of the entity don't have this scandal. The one thing was McDonald, she out of play and Darryl Smith. He back in. You compare how you and PNM thief. Bring proof of the thievery. You show what they steal. And do you remember Mary King?
Yes.
Is her name there?
Nope.
Did she recuse herself?
Nope.
Oh. She got fired because her husband and son have business. She never said that. Kamla, you don't find more than to the cleaner. Step down. You are a master of incompetence. Your time in the sun has finished. Borrow rent, steal me in care, get rocking chair, and count his 7 tools. You have 7 tools, you have 3 left to polish. I'm not trying to be good. I try so hard to be good, you know. I have to refrain. No, I am vocal,
Yes.
And it's Queensley, that's a question now. The doubles I get is a Christmas too. You kiss Pamela Laurels. You kiss you kiss her rear end. Are you happy to look in Queensley? Your back talk PNM imploding. Really, Kingsley? You on Facebook exploding. The day, tomorrow's tomorrow. You're like a housewife who are being submitted and being abused so much. Before you slap you fall down, boom. No, let me tell you, if you abuse me naturally, I'll go back in a party. And use the N-word, Kingsley. You are a token curry. You are good Shana. You are rinse out chubby bottle. And you are the piece of paper doubles came in. Not even ants could eat there. For their pride, well, be a man that you and Luke put together, right? Yeah. For your pride, I know you're not wanted. You have been used. You are not Jack Warner who had money. You don't have a cent. The money you have is from paper money. Cut notes have no value right now. King, let me tell you, put on your big boy girl panties. Boxers. Take off your training bra and leave. And people hear me well. Do not vote for UNC. Right? Because they want the Prime Minister to go against Maduro. right? What is the aim of that? He don't care about us, you know. You see what he do? We could get revenue. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. And UNC look like Anna because of the chicken curry. I must be faithful to my nation. Yes, you do wrong things, okay? But if you love your husband and wife, they make mistakes.
Yes.
You stand with them. Kamala and the UNC is not, they are Indians. The nation is UNC, the flag yellow. But every wealth you acquire here, Kamala, and Tim Grim Dopey sing, and the token Indians like Julian John, Whitmark, and Greasy here winning Ronnie Charles, leave your wealth here. Go on a one-way trip to the sun and don't return. Get some cooking oil, olive oil, me can use. Get out my land. We don't want you here. Have a good day, bye, love.
Thank you. Let's see, what do I have here? Right, so I'm racing. We want tea and we party. Good for my zone party. We don't want King Silly. 7701763. Let's see what we have here. Right. Anon is asking where is Marlene after she lost her daughter in Jamaica from UNC Blight. Remember the goodly lady said it was a feeding frenzy. Yes, Jolene John did in fact say that. Mr. Pandey, call it a milch cow and a feeding frenzy. You see here, Marlene Kudre. Where is Marlene? So which one but Chan? Payment to the Senator Honorable Marlene Kudre of salary and allowances in lieu of unutilized vacation leave. Mr. Chance, good morning. Hello? Hello? Mr. Chance.
Good morning. Morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, Dominic. Are you hearing me, Dominic?
Yes, sir. I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Yes, Dominic.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Chance.
Right. Thank you very much. I just want to touch on one area and gain a very good overview, very good insight into several topics. But I want to touch on one area, and that is the area I agree to 100%. That arrangement, Venezuela, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, oil and gas. And I will start with a whole saying: we cannot cut out our nose to spoil our face. At the moment in Trinidad and Tobago, our country, the people of our country are served to pay our bills through the sale of gas, mainly. That is our chief source of revenue. And for the next 25, 30 years, in the medium term, we are seeing also that potential for us to continue to get the money to run this country, because we cannot pick the dollars from a tree growing somewhere in the Philippines. We have to earn it through matters like this, oil and gas in particular, and certainly the area of tourism later on as we move on. So I agree with you 100%, and I'm sure the Prime Minister is keeping his eyes on the prize with that, because he understands that the future of Trinidad and Tobago is locked in, particularly with this particular arrangement. And I'll tell you why. This is not a matter only with Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela and Guyana, you know. This matter has Caribbean connections as well. There's something called Petro-Caribbean. So it's not only
only Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana. This matter in the Caribbean is not only being looked at by Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana and Venezuela. Let me share, and I'm sure that you're aware of it. Venezuela, from 2005, they were offering countries concessionary rates for the purchase of their oil. And among them, here are the countries that they have been receiving that benefit. Here are the countries in the Caribbean: the Bahamas, Dominica, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Grenada, Jamaica. So you understand? And let me tell you what is the concessionary rates they were getting from Venezuela to purchase the Venezuelan oil. They had to pay a certain percentage up front within 90 days. And that is the concession. And that is the benefit all those Caribbean countries are getting through this arrangement with Venezuela.
Yes.
Venezuela again, they have to pay a certain percentage within 90 days. And here is Dominic, they have 25 years to pay off the rest of the money for the oil. You hear that? 25 years. So you know what that meant for all those Caribbean countries during that Petro-Carib? You have heard the Prime Minister of St. Vincent talk about it?
Yes.
The benefits that they were getting because they had a longer gestation period to pay. They had enough money to help develop education. They have developed their health care. They have developed their infrastructure and to create employment for the people in the country. It's like a layaway plan. So you have some ease in your flow of your money. You have to put out all other areas where they have to purchase the oil. They didn't have that concession. Let me say it again. They have to pay a certain amount within 90 days. And they have 25 years to pay off the rest, just at an interest of 1%, Dominic. So you understand how much money they would have had during that period to help in the development of their people and their country. And they are sitting looking on, and they are major stakeholders in CARICOM. So it is not only a Trinidad and Tobago business and Guyana, it has a connection with Venezuela. And so, like you, I am paying attention to that, because when we put the Dragon Gas has 4.2 trillion, and the Lauren Manatee has over 10 trillion. So you're talking about 14 trillion cubic feet of gas.
Yes.
You know how much money that is going to rebound to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Let me say that again. The UNC giving us the impression that it's for the government. It's not the government, people. It is for you. Because that is the money we pay our social welfare with, $5 billion. That is the money we pay for education, $8 billion. And so on. And that is the money we pay for health, $6 billion. That is how we live in Trinidad and Tobago through the sale of gas in particular. You understand?
Yes.
So this matter with respect to Venezuela and oil and gas, and I want to tell you as I leave, I want to tell you what caused them a little trouble, you know, Dominic. Something happened Monday, Dominic. I don't know if you got it yet.
What's
on
that?
Monday, Reuters, Monday, Carol Reuters said, Monday, the International Media House, this Monday going there the 20th. Here the headline: Venezuela close to approving offshore license with Trinidad. You hear that? That happened Monday. I'll send it for you, Dominic. On Monday, this Reuters, which is an international media house, in reporting on this matter, they say Venezuela close to approving offshore license with Trinidad. So you understand what's going on there?
Yes.
Who that money coming to Venezuela, Dominic? Is that for the benefit of all of us?
Yes.
You think that's for Dr. Rowley and Mr. Ingrid and that? You think they could cash that money? Not at all. So my people, I stand with Dominic firmly on that. We cannot cut out our nose to spoil our face. This is a matter that is impacting on the whole of the Caribbean. The whole of the Caribbean. And you have to ask yourself, does the UNC really like the people of Trinidad and Tobago? They tried to give sanctions for $32 billion in the United States to prevent us from getting. And now they try to put fire in the ointment for us to get a deal so that we can secure the future of Trinidad and Tobago. You know where to put your finger. You know where to put your X when the time comes. Thank you very much, Dominic.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Debbie is saying, Debbie Markey, public servants want double-digit increases. Tell them, vote them dogs in. Tell them to leave the Dragon Fields too. Exactly. All the, and that's the point. All the people who are saying that the government not doing enough and they want the government to intervene in this and they want 14%. Where the 24% man who said 10% can't do it, 15 can't do it, 20 can't do it, 21, 22, 23 can't do it, 24. All right, we can start to negotiate from that. Mr. Roger, where are you? Are you in support of the UNC's position that the government should abandon the Dragon Gas deal? By extension, the Laurel Manatee and any other opportunities that may present itself, so we could stand in solidarity with the Guyanese people who want to tell us that they have oil now and they have money now. Our oil finish, or almost finish. Our economy in shambles. That's who we should stand in solidarity with, right? And when the next CPL come around, so we give up that, and the next CPL come around, and the same thing. They want to cuss Chilis. They're nothing good to say about Trinidad, man. When TKR beating their tail, yeah, they're vexed. They want to fight. Plenty to say. We should stand in solidarity with that. Yeah, that making sense. That is your government in waiting. We see. Right. You're most welcome, Ruth. Yeah. 770-1763. What my usual callers on? We say morning to Angie, morning to Mother Tunapuna. Hope all is well with you, Mother. So, I wonder if Nicole Caesar. Nicole is my good friend, I haven't seen Nicole's name come up in a while. Carol says, yes, don't forget to share the live, folks. Teresa is saying these people are very unpatriotic. Anything to set back progress in this country, they will do. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Just call it a real good show. I enjoyed the show. I wish you a good travel. Be careful. Remember, there are 600 and something shooters in America, and especially in the malls.
Yes.
Be careful. And I am just calling for Bacchanal. The three people who challenge you and say Rowley lie and whatever, you challenge them to explain. Nobody come back. Only come back now. Come now. and debate with Dominic man. You said he lie and whatever. I'm just calling for Bacchanal. Please come back, you three people. You know who you are.
Yes.
Dominic, have a good one.
You
Bye.
too.
Okay.
And Ponchakram and Parang coming up at Carol. And we are Nelson Island this year. I think it's the second. I think I should know. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
All right. You just called the name Nelson Island.
Yes.
Unfortunately, my name is Nelson.
Greetings.
All right. This is the first time I am able to get onto your show to call in.
Right. Welcome.
Because the times that you have your show, I am at work.
Oh.
I am at work. I'm out here in Brooklyn, so I teach at a trade school, so my day start at 7 in the morning. So today is Thanksgiving, and I'm giving thanks to the Almighty for being able to be home today to get onto your show. Whenever I can follow it, I follow.
Right.
I want to congratulate you on the effort that you are making to bring some sanity to my people in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
All I am asking is that the people of Trinidad and Tobago reach out to you and support you in the cause that you're not bound to be doing what you're doing here. Look at the massive amount of education. Education is not only 2 and 2 is 5.
Yes.
And 5 and 5 is 11. Right? They have removed civics from the schools. And the people of the younger people of Trinidad and Tobago are not being educated as to who am I? What is my purpose?
Yes.
So, Dominic, for whatever it is, if it is that a movement has to be made where you can have a following, that we can chip in and help you if you have to recruit staff to do research, and please, it is necessary that you form a movement, right? And, solicit contributions in some way, because the massive amount of research I hear this morning that you did, poor fella, you alone can do it.
Yes.
Try to get a staff and let us see what we can do to bring the standard of understanding in Trinidad and Tobago to a different level. My God, what is happening? What do they want to see again? What my people want to see again, please, my people, listen to me carefully, my people, please open your eyes and grasp what is good whilst we have it. Dominic, I hear you coming up to the stage.
Yeah.
I don't know when you're coming, but Godspeed.
Thank you.
Godspeed and blessings. Be safe and have a safe journey up and have a safe journey back down.
Thank you.
When you go down back, when you go back down for the Christmas, take a tune for me, please.
All right.
Right?
Yes.
To everyone that follows this program, please have a blessed day. Have a blessed weekend. And please let us educate our children. Have a good one.
Thank
Happy
you, sir.
Thanksgiving to all.
And to you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let me see here. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to you,
Morning, sir.
Well, it's been a while.
Indeed.
Indeed. So, where do we begin? So, my first area of discussion with you, Dominic, is with, what's his name from the radio station? Iowa something.
Yes.
What? You see, I don't know if everybody was awake or if everybody is still asleep in sweet TNT. To that, I guess somebody is helping him with playing chess. And trying to fool the people. And I was amazed to hear some people call in and saying, and thank you, Iowa. You're such a great person. You want the Prime Minister to give you a senatorship.
Wow.
And one senator, I said, we know the man is involved with the Rising Sun. He is carded to take part in the election. So they obviously, from start to finish, this whole sing-a-song that people would push back with, put the national anthem, disgrace the place, have the little children now singing, well, well, well. And that is not going to go away anytime soon.
Yes.
Now you say something about, I listened to the Prime Minister and the last question he had was about my song, and his discourse is what moved me to remove. I said, look, listen, I don't know. I just don't know what is wrong. And the last gentleman saying about the people and what is wrong with the people. Nothing is wrong with the people, It's just we're living in a time where I consider it to be anything goes. Is there anything goes society? And greed is the order of the day. And I will say, in every sector of society and the nation of Trinidad and Tobago and the surrounding nations, greed is eating away at the fabric of the nation and the societies at large. Greed. So everybody, he gets away with it. I go in and get mines. And I go in and get mines, and everybody trying to get theirs. So now, just kick that to the side. And let us deal with my last discourse with you the last time we spoke, the last 2 times. I think this might be my last opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
Where this is concerned or anything else. With regards to law and order in Trinidad and Tobago and the lack thereof. Law and order, the RIC situation, we have the THA still to be, I don't know, there's so many, the so-called, my best friend, the DPP, and he says, they can't move me, this is my job, they can't get rid of me. And I said, boy, go, you're not doing anything for this country. You, obviously, we see what they call it, something about Pampers and is it yellow and all this type of thing. I don't care about that. You're not productive, whether you're UNC, PNM or whatever. The job that we are paying you to do, you're not doing. So right, all the judges, some of them, the so-called UNC. Well, listen to me. As far as I'm concerned, if you say you're going to the States, and in Canada, I don't know if you know about the situation with the fallout between Canada and India, where they sent home all the people, they froze all the assets of the Indian business people. They stopped people from coming into the country because of the murder of a Sikh Canadian who was part of the government.
Yes.
Retired.
Yes.
All right. No. So listen to me. When you look at India as a whole, they're looking for these people have their own way of life. There's billions of them. They're running out of space just like China. So they're going and they're looking for places and they're looking for land. Where we expect people to behave in a certain manner, these people are not capable of that. That is not where they came from. Look at look at the country. Some people have their eyes shut. So the few we have in Trinidad and Tobago that came, from the time they landed, not all of them, but the ones who had a little money and got themselves involved in government and stuff. Look at what they have done to support the country. None of them, when you come to independence and anything, saluting the flag, they don't salute any flag. They're not nation builders. They don't care one thing about Trinidad and Tobago. If Trinidad and Tobago could become theirs, like what they did in Guyana, is what